happy, game director, God of War Ascension. What you're about to see is a making of video that we've been shooting over about 2+ years. It gives you a good idea of the inception of an idea all the way through to the final product. Keep in mind that this is a work in progress. Enjoy. Today was our really roughing out the beats for Hecaton, which is our opening boss level.
I needed a reason to make Hecaton come alive other than Hecaton was already alive right off the bat, because I thought that it was far more interesting that Hecaton was like had the city that was built on top of it, and you didn't know that. Hecaton is the beginning of the game. Kratos starts in Hecaton. It's essentially a prison. The player doesn't know why Kratos is here just yet, and where it is in the story is the very, very, very beginning. It's like pre-God of War 1. So Kratos has already killed his family, and he's dealing with the torments of that. He's kind of locked up in this prison, and the Furies are torturing him about what he's done in his past. Like, the Furies are the ones that want to keep Kratos there, and they want to continue to mess with him and torture him. And it's against their wishes that he's getting out of there, so they'll do anything in their power to make sure that he doesn't escape.
There's still so many things that we gotta basically answer. The stuff that I've seen so far, I think, is really promising, and hopefully feels very, very different than what we've done in the past. And again, that's what we're striving for, is to make this feel new. We got probably roughly the first 5 to 10 minutes fleshed out. There's still a lot of questions on the table.
Currently, I'm focusing on the first boss encounter in the level, which is the Hecaton 10 you see in the background here. This is the first fight, and it's going to be actually simpler compared to the rest of the boss fight. So this is like a warm-up for everyone. Try to put all the pieces together. Every single God of War game has like amazing opening. It's always like set the benchmark pretty much for the game. Everyone involved here, we all feel a lot of pressure to deliver. We're still in the early stage, we'll see how everything pan out, everyone will try their best, try to make sure that we will meet that quality bar.
From our standpoint, it still doesn't feel like a Titan. We need to make sure that we're selling the movements and the scale of it, and that's some of the things that we're trying to fix in art and animation and cameras right now.
These are the basic poses. There weren't really a lot to do because he's so wide and thick. This one, I'm trying to show a little bit more of the arm so that it feels like a whole hand.
Even if he just does a super or something like that, he pulls out and then goes back in to sell that. I mean, I like the ones where he puts his hand down.
I like this type of pose more, like when he angle, like he put one of his arms forward. I think it look more dynamic. Because there's so many moving pieces in the opening level, constant communication between art design and programming is required, because we have a level where you would tilt any directions, and we have a wall coupling, and the boss character just destroy this piece of the structure at the same time.
It's going to be that feel like you'd want it to almost.
You have this gigantic arm, and then it's moving around, and then it props up to an arena, and if it just does this, then it's not gonna, to me, it's like, I really want to see constantly this,
Yeah.
So what you see here is actually the very first shot of the game. We want to put a twist on this opening. For any fans of God of War, they probably will be surprised by this opening, because Kratos is looking in the puddle, and then we change from a seemingly third-person perspective into first-person perspective. He get caught by the Fury, and he just wake up and he look at his situation. By the way, this is not the real Fury. This is just a stand-in. Kratos finally breaks free and got his hand on the Fury, but the game just started for the Fury, so he's having fun. This is the chase where Kratos is going after the Fury. Immediately, we highlight all the new mechanic in the game. Environment is being destroyed. That's the beginning. That's the very beginning.
Typically, with animation, we're used to animating bipeds and quadrupeds, things that you're more used to seeing in our real world, whereas Hecaton is bizarrely different. He's an actual hand. He's got no legs, so he moves a lot different. This is a rough pass of Hecaton transforming. When you first encounter him, he has this closed hand pose, and he goes from that to where he rips the outer layer of his skin from the fingers down, and these fingers become two huge hands that attack you. The rig made it complicated to really make it convincing that these things were ripping, so I have to go through another pass to make it seem like it's really painful for him.
This time we're trying a very different approach in terms of storytelling with God of War. We are going to do different flashback sequence. So that's why we try to set it up at the beginning. You feel like personal. There's a mystery. Why Kratos is here. He's after something. This is a storyboard of the very first shot of the game. So Kratos is waking up, looking in the puddle. This is the surprise moment for the player because in first-person perspective. And then Kratos waking up in this prison-like structure with his hand chained, and physical fury appear. We just try to get a sense of what elements is involved in each scene. This is more like a guideline how we're going to approach this sequence. So Kratos is like struggle to get out, and Megara comes in. And this is a new type of minigame we're trying. Hopefully it'll be more intuitive to the player. This is a semi-arced level. This is actually on Hecaton's giant arm. So Kratos crashed through this wall and find another prisoner, and Hecaton appear in the background and kill him. Right now the hand is poking through the ceiling because we don't have destruction yet. So we're going to put in those pieces later. When you stun Hecaton, he will crash into the arena, and at that point you can actually pull down this building and drop it on the Hecaton and crush him. You're basically closing a section of the arena. As the fight progresses, the arena is actually getting smaller and smaller, so it's more intense. So this is the beginning of like figuring out exactly how we want to implement the destruction of the level with the artists.
There's a lot of things the camera has to communicate, gameplay first. If you stop and leave Kratos someplace at some time, you need to be able to find out where is he going next. You need to be able to pull back to show the player enough when he's fighting, what he knows is safe, what areas aren't safe. Kind of added on top of that, then we're able to kind of show them more of the environment, to communicate kind of the story, the setting that you're in, and kind of immerse them a bit more in what's going on. Here we have the Ardent Hecaton level, and these green areas are the camera zones where Kratos is located, and then each one of these brighter green spots are the actual cameras that are activated. So we've set up zones based on where the location is. So you can kind of see as Kratos runs by, the camera will switch to follow the Hecaton monster. So here he's doing a special move, so we activated another camera. So here now he's boxing us in, the camera's pulled back a little further. Now he's attacking, so we pull back even further to that, keep his claws in view. This way the player knows, and they don't lose sight of what matters. So there are, I think, 3 different sets just in this location, and those sets have 2 cameras each. So you can see these big green and red balls are camera targets. The large volume gives it a larger radius for the target to move in, and so that means it's actually a softer target. The smaller ones are much stronger targets, and so when they move, it's a bit more of a one-to-one motion. Some of the changes are subtle, but a lot of it's to make sure we can keep Kratos in frame and then provide different moments.
When you kick through this door, we're going to have a cinematic to show this hand transform into the monster. But we don't have that right now. But we have the boss fight. You are going to fight the Hecaton head. What he is going to do is to pick up this platform in his mouth, and then you're going to battle enemies AI on this platform, while Hecaton head is chomping away on the platform like a piece of pizza. Eventually the head will break this piece off and swallow it. So the arena will get smaller and smaller. Player will be able to cause him to drop the platform. And now the platform is vertical. Once you're there, you're going to break this one too, which causes him to toss it away. And then we have another Hecaton come out. So now you're fighting both of them. So the idea is you will turn Hecaton into a giant rival, and you will see him to attack the face. So that's what we're working on.